Okay, so I have been to Sun Parlour Honey and I have picked up 3 queens. I believe they're Buckfast queens, but I didn't ask, but I think they are Buckfast queens. Either way, they're mated, and I'm going to have to try to introduce them relatively quickly, which is kind of sucks. Now, I know there's going to be comments of people. Look at this guy. Can you see him? Oh, he's gone now. This big black thing flying around. Anyway, on task. There's probably other methods I could do, like combining hives and such, but this is the method I'm choosing, so please don't, slay me. But I've got 3 mated queens. I'm going to introduce one to hive number 1, which is a nuke, 5-frame nuke, one to hive number 5, which is queenless, and one to 4, which has a laying worker, which I've never had to deal with before, so it's new to me. The rest of the hives all have queens, so that's 2, 3, 5, and 6. It's no 7. Oh yeah, 7 has a queen, 5 doesn't have a queen. Don't get confused now, Rob. Okay, don't put the queen in the wrong damn box. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring you in, and I'm going to actually put honey on these little cages, these little queen cages, just to kind of hide the pheromone a little bit and maybe slow the process down a little bit. We'll have to see, but let's see how it goes. Introducing new queens. Okay, so hive number 1, the nuke box. It's stuck again. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this queen and I'm simply going to put the queen on the top of the frames and watch the bees. And I'm going to do the same in hive number 5. This is the swarm that I caught, which does not have a queen. So I'm going to do this, and I'm going to put, if I can separate them, I'm just going to put a queen there on top, and then I'm going to do the same for the rowdy lot over here in hive number 5. I might actually put her on the front doorstep to begin with, just to see how things go. I'll put her right there, but I will put her inside shortly. So, looking at the nuke box, there is probably half a dozen bees checking out the queen. None of them appear stinging. None of them appear to be aggressive towards her, which is good. What I'm going to do is put a little bit of honey on there, and maybe they'll even feed her a little bit. We'll see. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at the aggressive hive. So those bees are not being aggressive towards this queen either. They're not stinging the cage. Definitely interested in her though. A couple of guys are already on the candy plug there. But they're on the entrance, so it makes sense because the bees are coming and going from that spot right there. So we're going to come around the back here and look at the laying worker box, the situation with the laying worker. I don't see aggression there either, which is great. But like I said, I'm going to get some honey and I'm going to smear those cages with honey and wedge them between frames with the mesh facing up and the plug facing sideways. I've done it before with the plug facing down, and I actually had a dead bee stuck in it, so the queen couldn't get out. I managed to release her before she died. Thinking about it, the bees would be feeding her regardless, but you don't want her to get stuck in there because a dead bee's stuck in the tube. So things are looking pretty good on first inspection. Let's have a look over here again. No aggression. I'm going to put this cage right there. The top, I mean. That doesn't look terrible. Looks like you like her. Now I'm not sure if there's room for this in between frames. I really don't know. So I don't know if we're going to have to lose a frame. Not really sure right now, but we're gonna have to see. I've got to make sure that there is somewhere for her to lay because I need to release her tomorrow. I think I need to release these girls tomorrow because I'm heading to England tomorrow at about 4 o'clock. I think 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. When my wife gets home from work, we are leaving for Toronto and flying to Heathrow. And we're going to be a week in England. Okay, so I have a little bit of honey on my hive tool, and what I'm going to do, let's just look at these girls. Going to put some honey on the box. I probably should put more on there, but that's kind of taking their attention away from the queen a little bit, more towards the honey. I think I need a little bit more honey than that. It's not enough. But that's my intention, is to kind of smother this thing in honey, and then maybe that will take their attention away from the queen for a little bit, and then introduce her a little bit slower. But you can see they're all over that honey. They're enjoying that, which is taking the pheromone, made the pheromone less strong. But none of those are being aggressive towards her. They're not stinging through the cage. So that's a good sign. Yeah, that's a really good sign. So I'll put her back down there for a minute, if I can. Okay, we're going to do the same to all three of those cages, get some honey on them. Okay, so I have a little bit of honey in this container, and I'm simply going to douse that on the cage and put it on the top bars of this hive, which wasn't particularly fun when I went in there because they were kind of all over me. Maybe I should do this one last. That's a really good idea, Rob. We'll do this one last, seeing as they were a little bit more on the aggressive side. So what we'll do right now is looking at these bees again on the queen cage. They're pretty relaxed. They look like they're feeding through this one here. It looks like she's feeding through the cage. That's a good sign. So While I'm over here making a mess, dab my finger in honey. The girls immediately want some honey. Definitely takes the attention away from the queen. Just cover this thing in honey. I'm hoping that this might help introduce her. It's not something I've done before. I haven't had a whole ton of luck, honestly, introducing queens. Just going to cover up that honey so the bees don't go crazy for it. Hive tool. Let's see if I can separate these enough to get the queen cage in there faced up. I think so. Okay, so the queen cage is in there faced up. I've got to make sure that there's a little bit of room for the bees to get up there and feed her. Okay, so as you can see, the queen cage is in there. The queen is in there. I've covered the thing in honey. They're interested in the honey as much as anything else. Probably more interested in the honey right now. But gradually, hopefully, they will realize that they have a queen and they can start feeding her. We still have a good box of bees here, a good amount of bees. So I figured, why not give them a chance? Give them that opportunity. Give them a queen and see what they can do. I'll see where they are tomorrow. I'll have a quick peek tomorrow and see if they release her by then, and if not, see how things go. But it's got to be quick because I'm leaving tomorrow. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing in this hive. Maybe I only need smoke for the last one here that I'm going to be doing, which is 5, because they're a little bit crazy. This one has a laying worker. They do not seem aggressive towards her. They're just kind of interested in her pheromones. So again, I'm going to coat this in honey. Give them something to eat, something fresh to eat. A little bit on the mesh as well. Can you hear the bullfrogs? Okay, this definitely gets them interested because they got honey, they got queen pheromones. They should be happy. Okay, hive tool. Okay, let's get them towards the center of the hive. Center front. Just squeeze that a little bit, and we're going to work it down. Just down a bit. That gives them enough room on top to feed her. These girls got stuck in the honey. Cover that up again. That is a big black fly. I don't know if you can see that. Not quite sure what those big black flies are. I'm not going to say I like it much though. Probably a horsefly or something. Can you see that? Okay, so I'm going to cover that up. No, I'm going to put the spacer on. I need that spacer, don't I? For the feed. And that's that one done. So now it's just the one that was a little bit on the aggressive side. Okay, so what we're going to do now is open up hive number 5 again. We're not going to bother them too much, but I need to get the queen onto the top of the frame. Drop that on the floor. Okay, again, we're going to lift that inner cover. We're going to bring the queen up to the top of the box. Come on, girls. How does that look? You don't have Swiffer pads either, do you? I'll get you a Swiffer pad while you guys check out what they're doing. Fuck off. Okay, so I'm going to put a Swiffer pad in the top, in the corner there. And I need this honey. And I'm going to smear some honey on that queen cage, if they'll let me. If they'll let me. Okay, so there's quite a lot of honey on that, which will mask some of the pheromone. Put it on the candy plug as well, around the candy plug. Okay. So now I need the hive tool, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to separate somewhere in the middle. Probably should have put it right in the middle, not to one end. I don't think it matters though. Temperatures are really good right now. Temperature is not an issue. We're in the 30s most days here now. Okay. So, look at these girls. You greedy girls. Come on. Off that. Off that. Well, you went in there. I've got to rescue a bee. Another one. Stuck in honey. Another one. Okay, let's get this covered up and I'll take it away from the hive where there's less bees, and then I can rescue that last bee. But that's pretty much it, guys. That's where we stand today. Like I said, didn't see any aggression towards the queen, which is good news in any of them. So hopefully they accept the 3 new queens, because like I said, I just spent over $200 Canadian dollars for those 3 queens. So, you know, it gets expensive. It gets really expensive when you start adding up the costs, because I just bought, what did I buy? A bottom board. Look at that, wax. I just peeled wax off. Didn't mean to do that. I bought a bottom board, an inner cover, and a telescoping cover. And even that cost over $100. That was, I forget now, but what else did I buy? I bought jars to put honey in. That was a couple of $100 for 8 dozen. So the cost of beekeeping gets higher and higher. I think I think Sun Parlour was a little mad at me for not picking up the. Seems like these have calmed right down with the presence of a queen in their box. So that's. I'm hopeful. Maybe. See if I can scrape some more of this propolis off the inner cover, because it makes it very sticky. I don't collect propolis. I know a lot of guys do, but I don't. I don't collect pollen either. But when you're a beekeeper, there's other things than just honey. Let's close this up. That's backwards. I've got the top opening toward the back. Yeah, top opening is towards the back, the bottom is at the front. And this is hive number 5 once again. So yeah, it's the 12th of June today, and this colony is queen right. They will need space when I come back from my week's trip. These guys I didn't look in today, but they're queen right with the original queen. These guys, I'm introducing a queen today. Hopefully tomorrow, maybe. I'm kind of rushing it because I'm here and then I'm gone tomorrow evening, but they have a queen in a cage. These two have a queen in a cage, 4 and 5. Now 4 is a laying worker in there right now. That's the swarm that I caught, has a laying worker. So I'm not quite sure how that's going to pan out. But I've introduced a queen, smothered the cage in honey, maybe mask the pheromone and gradually get the pheromone in there. I actually watched a video today. Somebody else was introducing a queen to a colony that has a laying worker. What they did was they gave them half a frame and they caged her into half a frame. She had honey available and open comb available, and other bees couldn't get to her. So even if they wanted to end her, they couldn't, because she was in a cage. They give her the opportunity to start laying and eating, feeding herself and stuff. So then after a few days, they could take the cage off and everything was cool. So, but we'll have to see how that goes. Like I said, it's the first time I'm dealing with a laying worker. And this one, a little bit on the aggressive side. They're still all over me. They're from this hive here because they're queenless and they're not happy. But with the introduction of a queen, same method, I'm hoping that she'll be released and start laying, I hope. It's possible that they could get killed, because that does sometimes happen if they don't accept them, and that's unfortunate, but I won't know now until I get back from England. So we'll have to wait and see. But right now I definitely have 4 queen right hives, and I have 3 with queens being introduced. That was my last resort. I couldn't get, for some reason, I couldn't get them to draw out a queen cell and have a queen emerge and successfully breed and come back and start laying. It didn't happen for those 3 hives. So this is my last resort for those 3 hives. Failing that, combining them. When I get back, if they're not laying in there, there could be an extension of this series where I have to combine them because there's no other alternative. We'll have to see. We'll see that in a week or two's time, because I'm not back now till, so I leave on Saturday. Today's Friday. I leave on Saturday and I'm not back until the following Tuesday. So it's going to be probably the next weekend after that I won't be able to do anything. But I want to make sure these queens get released. So we'll see how things go. I'm hopeful, skeptical, but hopeful. We'll have to see how it goes. So thanks for watching, and we'll see where this journey is going with these hives. Take care now, bye.